Hi, this is a layout about my mom and my youngest daughter having a little drink at Caribou Coffee. Um, those of you that don't have Caribou where you're from, it's just like a little, like a Starbucks or something like that. But I don't know if it's just a Minnesota thing or not. Anyway, it's something we like. And no, she's not drinking coffee. They have coffeeless options when you're 7. So anyway, I have this video in super fast right now because what I did is I raided my scrap bin and I just took out a bunch of colors paper that I thought, patterns that I thought went together, and I'm just doing a bunch of layers, bits and pieces layering up. Kind of, I'm going to pronounce her name wrong, but a Terry Koshin type of style. I've watched a lot of her videos. So this is kind of inspired by her videos. And yeah, I get frustrated with they're moving and bothering me, so I decide I need to start attaching things to the paper. And then the fun begins. After I get these attached, I decide that I should probably outline these to make the different patterns be apart from one another. And yeah, here's where the mess up begins. Whoops. You like how I rubbed it like that was going to take the scribble away? So bye-bye to this, and then I tear the paper, so that's great. So I have to take it off, and then I say, oh, forget it, and I go with this option. Continue with my outlining, and I believe I remember to outline everything else before I attach it from here on out. So I still fiddle with the layers and do whatever. I've been looking back at some of my albums, and I noticed that I just don't have a lot of pictures of anyone else in my family except for my children and my husband. So I'm trying to make a conscious effort of including some I do have pictures of my parents and my husband's parents and aunts and uncles and cousins, but I don't know why. They aren't my first pictures to go to for some reason. So that is something I'm consciously trying to do more of. And again, when I do all these layers, I really try to pay attention to corners and how the corners of each layer line up, because I don't want a corner on top of another corner. I like them to be staggered. So I don't ever show a picture of it because I don't move my camera off its stand, but I have this big bin, a big iris container, plastic container of all my scraps, and I literally just have them thrown in there. Sometimes I feel like I should go through and I should sort them all out and have it by color and a filing system, and then I remember who I am and my style, and there's no way when I'm done scrapbooking that I'm going to feel like sorting my scraps into colors. I'd love it if I had that in me, but I just don't. My mom, however, in the photo there, she would have hers color coded and organized and in an awesome way. So maybe she could come stay at my house for a while and do that for me every time I scrapbook. Not having it. She lives about 3 hours away from me. So there's that. And yeah, I get this all laid down and figured out, and it never does look exactly the same when you finally get it all said and done and attached. And I couldn't, usually what I would do is while I'm laying, when I get it to a point where I really like it, I would stop, or I would take a picture of it with my phone and then look at it. I learned that from, I believe it's Mercy Tierra that does that a lot. But I'm using my phone to video, so that doesn't work. But it works out. I'm still glad I mess around with it at the beginning and try to, see what I like, but then look at that. That's going the total opposite direction. But like I said, when it's all said and done, I like how it looks. The little I like the little pieces that are picking up. And my daughter has one of her uglier shirts on today, or this particular day, and I did get my color inspiration from it, although I can't stand the shirt, but I actually honestly think that's a pajama shirt, but she wears it as a shirt, and I maybe shouldn't have ever told her that I didn't like it, because maybe she wouldn't wear it as often if she thought I liked it. I don't know. She's kind of that kid, so whatever. It works. Makes her happy. And also for the record, that drink that she bought, which probably cost around $4, she didn't drink. She drank one sip of it, and we threw out the rest. So that was fabulous too. It was her first and last coffeeless drink at Caribou Coffee. I moved this guy around a lot, if I remember correctly. Finding a good spot for it. I tried to get the two that I ended up covering up my mess up. I tried to get those two strips repeated in the other side of the layout. That stick you just saw with my washi tape on it, that is how I store my washi tape. I have a holder, and it's actually a bracelet holder, and it has, I believe, 8 of those rods on it. I believe I'll show it again here in a little bit. It has 8 rods in it, and it just kind of fits. They have this stand that has grooves on it, and the washi tape all fit on there. Then I can see, and I can just grab the whole rod. I have them sorted mainly by color for the most part, and I can just bring the whole thing over to my workspace, and well, it's right on my island, but I can bring the whole rod over and pick which tape I want to use. I got these stickers. I don't remember if these were in a little prize package I won from Grace Islander, or if it was something I picked up at Hobby Lobby. But these coffee cups were actually the inspiration. My mom and youngest and I had been to, I don't remember, maybe Tuesday Morning or Michael's. I can't remember if it says Recollection on there or not. And bought these coffee cup wood veneers the same day that I took this picture. And I just told my mom today when I was doing this video that I took this picture because I knew I had, there was the rod, had just purchased these little coffee cups. So, yep, that's how my brain works sometimes. I don't know why that green glitter glue is laying there. I don't think I used it. I don't really know why it's laying there, but it is. I didn't really want that to look like a tag, so I had to cover up that hole. And those wouldn't have been my first 2 choices of colors, but if you can see on the pink bands, there's a little tiny cutout. I think it's a star and a heart. And I wanted those to be facing each other, if that makes sense. And none of the other cups worked that way with the pink. I wanted to use the pink one for sure. So I try to use darker pink in my lettering, my letters. And this is going to be titled Coffee and Tea with Ghee, because when my oldest niece was little, she referred to my mom for some reason as Ghee when she tried to say grandma. And my mom, when she became a grandma, was not quite ready to be a grandma. And she just latched on to being called something like Ghee rather than grandma. And so that is how she got that name. And so this was my oldest brother. And then when I had children, I continued on with the tradition of calling her Ghee, and my kids all call her Ghee. My sister, who's younger than me, she has children as well, and she decided to break the tradition, and her kids referred to my mom as Grandma Birdie because her name is Roberta, so they call her Birdie. And my two younger brothers that are younger than my sister, they have also followed that with calling her Grandma Birdie. So it gets a little confusing in the at the holidays when she's referred to as many different things. But and then I used one of those Jen Hatfield ampersands again because I love them. And here I used to subscribe to the Felicity Jane kits, and here's an alpha from Felicity Jane. I love their kits, but I ordered them at a bad time in my life when I just didn't have I just didn't really have the time to scrapbook, and my kits would sit there, and yeah. Someone's in the kitchen getting some water, so if you hear that, that's what's going on. It was relatively quiet when I started recording, so love these letters. They're from a big 12 by 12 sticker sheet that came with a paper pack. I don't exactly remember which paper pack it was. I think it was a Bella Boulevard. That's what it looks like to me. So, yeah. And my mom only drinks chai tea when she goes to Caribou, so, or typically gets chai tea when she goes to Caribou, so that's why it's coffee and tea with ghee. It would have looked silly if it said coffeeless tea with ghee, but I had a coffee. I'm just not in the picture, but I thought it worked out well. To put some bling. I love these enamel hearts. I probably doodlebug. And then because the coffee cups have stars and hearts, that is the type of enamel dots I chose to use. Hearts and stars and different shades of pink. So yeah, I'm just about done here. I'll be getting out some black Dylusion ink to do some splatters. Bring out the black from the paper pieces. A lot of random pieces to cover. And of course, right on the enamel dot, I get a dot of black, but I believe it wipes right off. Or not. Oh no, they're dead. And there we go. I'll do a little bit of just writing the date on this one because it's pretty self-explanatory.